it's not necessarily that you may be doing something wrong, and the reason why you cannot remove all that negative energy that has accumulated or that stress. You may simply need a different approach to address and alleviate your concerns, worry, and that amount of stress that might have been built up right on top of your shoulders. So you have so much positivity that's stored inside of you that sometimes all you really need is to simply unleash that positive energy and turn everything around for better and more of a positive experience and positive outlook in the future. So before you are able to uncover the power of positivity, one that's very important step that I think we all sometimes miss is that you need to recognize and understand what got you to where you are now. Your basically your current state. Why you feel the way you feel today. So without understanding the reasons or triggers that might have negative effect on your emotional state and well-being, it's going to be very difficult to eliminate those negative barriers and replace them with a positive energy. Because if you really don't know exactly what got you there or what pushed those buttons of yours that got you frustrated or got you upset or created that additional amount of stress, then you really don't know exactly what do you need to do. How do you address each one of those negative items? So first, take some time, and this is something that I do every single time whenever I face this type of situation where when I feel discouraged or there's a lot of amount of negativity might have built up. So first, take some time and write down all of your negative emotional roadblocks or situations that you are facing or you had faced recently that got you to where you are today. You would actually need to list every single negative situation or thought that you had experienced. So it's not always the situation that you might have experienced, right, that's affecting your well-being today, but it's also all those thoughts that are going through your head or have gone through your head recently. Yeah, so maybe something that you're worrying about, right, or maybe something that's upcoming and next day or the next week that you're thinking about. So that's all of that is encompassing, and that's exactly what I'm talking about here. Is you would need to write down every one of those negative emotional roadblocks that you have experienced or will be experiencing. So it may not be the easiest thing to do at first, because again, we're talking about the negative things here, right? But this step is necessary to remove all of that negative energy that you may be dealing with at this time and transfer it on paper versus keeping it all in your mind, all in your head, right? Once you complete that list of all of the negative items, you should actually already feel much better and be more positive than you did before. You should feel better after you convert all of that negative information that was originally in your head, that was waiting on you, in transferring all of that negative energy on paper. Now, it's not the end of this exercise, but that's a very important first step. So once you're done that, next thing you need to do, or you can do, you would need to take each item or situation that you have written down on your list and find something that's positive that you can list for each one of those items. So I'll share some example. One of your negative items may say something like this. Everything seems to be going against me today. If it's not one thing, it's another thing. It's just a very, very bad day today, and I think I'm gonna give up on today. The positive response that you may list for that negative item could be something similar to this example. It's a beautiful and sunny day outside. I have everything that I need to be successful. One challenge day will not stop me. So this is just one of many examples that you can list. Be creative. Come up with something great, but make sure it's very positive, and put that in next to every single one of those negative situations and negative thoughts, or anything else that you've listed, or that negative that's been waiting on you on that list. And I'm sure that you can find something good and positive to counter any negative thought or situation. So think about it. If you cannot come up with an idea so what you want to list, ask your friend or family member what could you possibly list in that on your list. So once you have listed something positive for every negative, then you should have a very good and positive feeling inside of you. It should be a feeling of almost a feeling of relief, because all of a sudden everything that is not as bad as you had thought initially, instead everything actually looks pretty good. Because now that it's not all this negative stuff that's waiting on you and just kind of keep piling up on your shoulders in your mind and keep adding on, now you have all this positive for every single one of those negative items that's over that and counter every single negative item. So now you actually have a pretty good day, and when you look at it, everything is not so bad. Whatever's going to happen in next week or next day, hey, there's actually something very positive that's going to take place as well, which will absolutely be much better than anything that negative that you had thought about previously. So, very important step here, and I think by this time, I really hope that you're feeling already better once you completed this particular step. So this is important to remember, you have what it takes to challenge and overcome any negative thought or situation with a positive energy within you. It is important to remember that power of positivity and power of smile can help you to live a much happier life despite of occasional challenges that you may face throughout your life. So smile more every single day, and please focus on unleashing that positivity that's inside of you, because it's absolutely there. You just really have to dig for it and take it out and counter that positive energy that's actually will help you in your future and will help you in overcoming any type of a negative experience or negative situation or negative thought that may be going through your head. Because I'm sure it's not rocket science, but we can all understand and expect, right, that negative things will take place. Negative experiences will happen. You will run into obstacles. You will run into failures. And that's why it's important to understand that when you do that, don't feel discouraged. Don't feel like this is it. I don't know what else to do. I'm done here. I'm giving up on this project or this initiative or this day. Don't do that. Go through this exercise and really figure out what's good in every one of the situations, because you can always find something positive that you can use and use that instead versus focusing on the negative.